Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Reddit Stories video, and today we're going to be getting into some insane Reddit confessions, and just some more Reddit confessions since you guys liked the last confessions video, and I'm going to do something a little bit different in today's video. I posted a poll a few weeks ago, and you guys seem to want my opinions on some of the stories afterwards, and after I read the story, I give my opinions on it, what I liked about it, what I didn't like, what I'd just like to see improve, or just ask for your guys' opinion, and I just personalize it a little bit, and I think this is a good way just to add my personality into it a little bit more, you know? And so, yeah, I'm going to do this, and if you guys like it, comment down below, say you like it, want to see more of it, and if you don't like it, please comment that you don't like it, and yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by, and before we get into the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the channel's goal to be at 500,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel, and alright. Without further ado, let's get into some insane Reddit confessions. I made a huge mistake with my son-in-law and can't say anything. This has been bothering me for a while, and I just need to say it, I think. I know this was very poor judgment, and I've felt completely awful since this happened. I am divorced from my husband of 36 years. Our divorce was finalized in November of 2018. He immediately had a girlfriend about 15 years younger than me. After the divorce, I got very depressed and had zero self-confidence. I used it as motivation and got in shape. I lost 20 pounds and decided to get breast implants. I got them last June. After I got them, I basically hid from the world for about a month until I was confident enough to go out again and had recovered. My daughter and son-in-law have a pool in the backyard. Since it was summer, I was at the pool with some of them and grandkids. In late July, my son-in-law made a comment about my boobs. I was totally mortified even though I knew it was obvious to them. I've been swimming with them for years. No real way to hide my boobs. Later that night, he sent me a text apologizing for saying anything and said he was happy for me. I texted back and eventually sent him a selfie topless. He was very supportive and told me I looked amazing, etc. I was at a very low place and had been drinking. I asked him if he wanted to come over, and he did. We ended up having sex. I had not had sex in about 3 years, and I think just the attention and being told I'm beautiful made me do it. I've sent him pictures a couple times since when he's asked, but have not done anything since. We've talked about it since and both agree it was a bad idea. We both swore we won't ever tell my daughter. I have not told anyone about this. I feel so guilty and can't stand I'm hiding something this big from my daughter, but I can't bring myself to tell her. Thanks for listening. And alright, you came to this video for some insane Reddit confessions, and we're starting off with an insane Reddit confession, and damn, that was a confession. That's kind of crazy. Her poor daughter got kind of cheated on, or yeah, she did get cheated on. Her husband cheated on him with her mom. Wow. That's crazy. This was one of the most insane Reddit confessions I've read, and I swear to God, I did not just mean to say the title of the video, but that was an insane Reddit confession. This is just kind of a crazy post. I think she should feel awful about it. It's not okay to cheat on somebody or let someone cheat on them. I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I don't think it's okay for people to cheat, and she made her daughter's husband cheat on her. All this son-in-law, daughter-in-law stuff is confusing, and I think you're following, hopefully. Just let me know in the comments if I'm making any sense right now, but that's an insane Reddit confession. And I know that was a pretty lackluster response or reaction to it, but I'm gonna be pretty rusty in the beginning, or pretty bad, so just trust me. Let me know in the comments. Do you like my personality in this or not? Just let me know in the comments below, and I will adjust for the future. Thank you. On to the next one. My boyfriend left me 2 days ago. I am now the happiest I've been in 2 years. I'm overjoyed. I can't even describe it. Friday felt like the worst day ever, but you know what? I didn't even realize how fucking miserable I was with him until he dumped me. Dad came over and talked to me for hours on Saturday. Flaws I didn't even realize drove me mad showed up suddenly. Dad reassuring me that he always hated him and always wanted someone better for me made things easier as well. I'm free in all of my decisions. I can pursue the job I want in a city of my choosing, without having to look after what and where he wants to go. No more unnecessary fights, a feeling of new self-worth after being constantly talked over / not being properly respected for 2 years. I can eat what I want, where and when I want without snarky comments. I can do yoga for hours without being ridiculed for it because it's not real activity. Want to see my parents over the weekend? No one to stop me. Want to get drunk with my friends? No one giving me jealous comments. Having to hang out with people I don't like? No more. Endless talk of your stupid little schemes to improve the world without you even being able to get out of your fucking bed before 11 a.m. No, thank you. Uncertain future because someone always refuses to plan even a month ahead? Gone. This is by far the easiest breakup I ever had, so thanks for dumping me and giving my self-respect back. I can't believe I let myself be controlled for that long. Never again. Goodbye, energy sucker. You better save up all those tears. The sun is shining outside. I'm going for a walk and I'm filled by a wave of happiness I haven't felt in forever. Life is good again. Edit. Holy shit, this is my first award. Thank you to everyone and all the positivity you've shared. Second edit. Guys, I am amazed at how much all of this has blown up. Thanks for all of your kindness and positivity. However, due to the big amount of comments still flying in and a lot of questions being re-asked, I won't have time to go through and answer all of them anymore with work and everything. If you are one of the people that have reached out to me, don't hesitate to PM me. I likely won't find you in the comment section again. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Yesterday was my day off, so I can't be on my phone this much today, but if you really do need my help, I'm gonna answer you as soon as I can. As for the rising number of troll/incel comments, if I do notice you're being one of those that don't expect a response from me again, all the questions have been answered in the comments. So if you're still curious whether or not I'm actually miserable, crying myself to sleep, or you simply cannot believe that I'm genuinely happy because I must seek attention as a female does, please do us all a favor and just look up all the other unhappy people who thought they needed to vent about their negativity on here. If you came here solely because you wanted to know why I was dumped or why I didn't dump him first, it's in the comments, but I'm going to post it here as well so people will stop asking me about it. In the end, our plans for the future didn't match. I wanted to move back to my hometown. He wanted to either migrate or live in a big city. None of us wanted to give in. I wanted to start a family sometime in the next few years. He panicked because he realized that we were in fact getting serious beyond the point of a college romance. I think you get the picture. I did think about dumping him for some time, but since we had ups and downs and it was in fact a loving relationship at first, I kept holding on in hopes of mending things I didn't realize were too broken. If you did have a really good relationship in the beginning, it's hard to keep yourself from fighting for it and making a mistake by calling things off too soon. I did, however, emotionally distance myself from him for at least some time without actually realizing it until right before he did us both a favor and ended things. This is also why I believe I'm not a miserable wreck like so many people want me to be. My dad helped me to realize a lot of these things. He really set my head right about it and helped me tremendously. What will I do once the regret kicks in? I don't know. Probably nothing. I'm moving on to a really good job that I fought hard for in March, which has me also moving about 200 miles next week. Out of sight, out of mind, right? We'll see about that. Thanks again, everyone, and cheers. Keep the positivity up. And I don't think this one is that much of an insane Reddit confession. I think this is just kind of a nice, kind of more cheery confession. It's not really a confession even. I don't even know why this was really on the confession board, but I just wanted to throw in kind of a gooder vibes of them and also just kind of tell you that you can always get better or be in a better situation. And I know this one is just kind of talking about her being in a relationship, and I think a lot of people need to hear that maybe being in a relationship really is kind of bringing down your life. But I think that can equate to a lot of different things such as school, job, or something along those lines that's really holding you back from your full happiness. And I know this one wasn't sad, but I think it's just kind of a good vibes one that was necessary. I got a paternity test on my son behind my wife's back. I got a paternity test on my son behind my wife's back. 2 years ago, we had a baby boy, and from the moment he was born, I felt like something was off. And it was obvious. Our child didn't look like us. Now, I get that children don't look like parents often, and you have to wait to see how they look, but this was different. My son was blonde, blue eyes, and with a very fair skin complexion. I am Mexican. My wife is Colombian. We both have a slightly darker skin tone. Think Selma Hayek's complexion. We both have dark brown eyes, black hair, and dark brown hair. Not only that, both of our parents have dark hair and brown eyes, with the exception of my mother, who has hazel eyes. All of our grandparents have dark hair, brown skin, and dark eyes. How was my child blonde, blue eyes, and fair? I had people tell me that lots of babies are born with blue/gray eyes and darken up, and their skin and hair change vastly as well. So I waited it out and assumed the child was mine. But here we are after 2 years, and if anything, his eyes are more blue, more blonde, and even lighter skin. He does not look like us. I started getting comments on how he must be the mailman's son, or weird looks or jokes. I was once questioned at a park if the child I was playing with was my son. My wife is always being asked if she is his nanny, and it made me feel so angry. My wife never thought it was a big deal and would say people are just playing around, but I know some people think I am raising another man's child. It started to wear on me. I had no reason to think my wife cheated on me other than his looks. It was eating me inside, and I took my son to get a paternity test without telling my wife. Well, it turns out he is 100% mine. I was so relieved. I wanted to show this to anyone who made comments or joked about my son not being mine. That night, I casually asked my wife if she would have been mad if I got a paternity test when our son was born, and she reacted very offended that I would even considered that she cheated on me. She said if it would have affected our relationship negatively knowing I couldn't trust her. I played it off that I was joking, but now because of the paternity test, she was correct, and I had no reason other than the way he looked. Now I have replaced the feeling of doubt on my child with guilt. Now I feel like an insecure asshole. I don't know if I should tell her or keep this locked away forever. All right, I think he hit the nail on the head with the last two things he said. I think he should keep it locked away forever, or else it probably will ruin his marriage, and I think he's kind of an insecure asshole. I'm not calling him an asshole. I think he is just kind of insecure because, a marriage or relationship is really built on trust, and he had zero trust in her. He didn't even have trust to tell her he was getting a paternity test, let alone trust her that that was his child or their child. And I really think this is something he needs to take with him and keep it with him until the grave. Don't tell her ever, because it will really, I think, create a dent in the relationship that might not really ever heal, because she'll always know that he doesn't trust her fully. And good thing it was actually his child. That's great she didn't cheat, but I think it's kind of crazy that he didn't really talk to her seriously about it before he went and got a paternity test behind her back. And like I said kind of earlier, I think it's kind of crazy he did it completely behind her back, because I think he should have brought it up before and been like, I'm seriously considering getting a paternity test. And if she reacted that way again, I think it kind of would have furthered his insecurity. So maybe this was inevitable in this situation, but I think with the results and how it actually went, I think he should take this to the grave. The worst mistake I ever made was telling people that I had won the lottery. I won the lottery about 7 years ago. Between my annuity and profits made from investments, all net, I get shy of $800,000 a year. I was stunned that I won. Once I confirmed that I won, I started to tell people. I thought they'd be happy for me. They were happy for me for a minute, and then they started to ask me for money, friends and family. Then they told people. I was literally getting 10 calls a day from people asking for money. My favorite was the sister of my coworker saying she needed rent money, and a friend asking me to buy them a $20,000 ring from a girl he had been dating only for a few months, and she was fucking other guys on the side. Some people successfully used me and I cut them off. I still help some people, but I had to cut them off because they were asking me for money, only to give it to others or using the money for something different. It was very traumatic. I even had a therapist try to rip me off by asking for a cash tip after our sessions. I was spending more money on people than on myself. It's ironic that I have more money than I need, yet I can't give it away because it brings nothing but problems. People make generosity not worth it. People want me to finance their best lives and have the arrangement be exclusively on their terms. I will never understand why people can accept one thing without trying to get more. I chalk it up that people in my life had no respect for me. And okay, this one is a pretty simple answer, in my opinion. For me, I'm sure you've all heard it, or at least in my life, that if you win the lottery, the first thing you're supposed to do is contact a lawyer and don't tell anybody about it. And this guy did the opposite of that. I mean, like, what was he expecting the outcome to be? I mean, it's great. He won the lottery. Phenomenal. But he should have never told anybody. And what was the upside of telling people? For people to be jealous? Yes, they are jealous now, but people to be want things from him, to people to be happy. I mean, I don't know what he was expecting the upside of this to be. Like, how did he not expect people to be asking him for money if they know he makes upwards of $800,000 a year? Like, what was he expecting the outcome to be? Do people not ask money? I mean, I understand that it's not good, but people will leech off of you if you have something to give them. So just for any future viewers out there, or any viewers out there, if you win the lottery, just don't tell anybody, except maybe me. I own an exotic car rental company, and I hate how fake all of my clients are. Throwaway for obvious reasons, so I don't get doxxed, but I own an exotic rental car company in one of the largest markets for it in the USA. Along with cars, I rent our boats, houses, and even watches. On average, I profit about $40,000 to $50,000 a month. I love what I do because it lets my own very nice things without having to pay for them out of my own pocket. But I've begun to despise my clientele. The rapper in the G-Wagon you see on Instagram is renting it from me for $999 a day. Then they film their music videos on my boat for $3,000 a day and then pretend to live in my houses that I rent to them for $1,000 a night. The iced out paddock he's wearing is another $1,500 a day to rent. The finance guru in the 911 you see on TikTok with the full gold Rolex has rented both from me on a weekly basis for $2,500. Sure, I get it. Money attracts money, and renting these things to show off help further their businesses, but it also makes me despise them. When I originally started, I wanted to cater to car enthusiasts. I wanted to rent to the dude who just turned 50 and wanted to rent the Lamborghini to celebrate, or the guy who wanted a classy spec 911 for his birthday. Unfortunately, that's not where the money is. It's way too easy to make a killing off renting to people who are trying to flex, which is why I expanded into renting yachts, houses, and watches. A couple months ago, we had a client rent our Ferrari 488 and post on Instagram in the car with $1,000 in singles. He left an ATM receipt in the car from that transaction, and it showed that he had $40 available balance after withdrawing that $1K. And honestly, I just feel bad for the guy. No amount of flexing on Instagram is going to fill whatever void you're trying to fill. Just a reminder that everything you see online is extremely fake, and unfortunately, that's now expanded into the real world too. And okay, I could really rip into this guy and just be like, dude, you're making $40,000 to $50,000 a month. Let the people who rent your stuff do whatever they want. But I read a few of his comments, went to his profile, seems like a really nice guy, so I don't really want to dig into him that much. But in reality, he's bringing up a good point. Don't be jealous of people online because there's a 99% chance it's all fake BS and they're just flexing something they don't own or are even close to owning. So don't get jealous of people online because it's all fake. And also number two, like I said earlier, I don't want to rip into this guy too much, but that just is your clientele. I don't think you should be complaining because it's really paying all your bills. And I don't know how many older guys in their 50s really want to rent out a Lamborghini other than once a year or once every few years. I think this will be his main clientele for a long time, so I don't think he should complain if it continues to pay him the big bucks like that. I regret having an open marriage. I'm 31 female, married, and have a daughter. So my husband and I had an open marriage for about a year. I love my husband, and he was the one that came up with the idea. He knew I kind of had a hypersexual lifestyle before meeting him, so to make story short, he wanted me to sleep with other guys. That being said, I am falling for this guy I met. He's perfect, everything. I still love my husband, but it hurts me to say that if I had to choose one or the other, I wouldn't choose my husband. When my husband wanted this, it spiced things up, but I started to see him differently. I'm just regretting the whole situation. I hope things can stay the same and not end up in a divorce or anything. I do love my husband so much, but it's not the same love I had when we first got married. Okay, I've read for some reason on this channel, a lot of open marriage stories for whatever reason. And just to make it short, they never work out. Never ever do, or someone's unhappy. Maybe one person's happy, but the relationship never survives. And I'm not making fun of anyone who is in an open relationship, whatever floats your boat. But every single story I've read, it doesn't work out, or someone's unhappy. So maybe think twice before you want to get into that with your girlfriend or wife or husband or boyfriend or anything in between. You know, just off of this strict Reddit readings I've done, I wouldn't recommend it. My boyfriend just admitted he's a psychopath to me and that he picked me. I don't know where else to say this or put this, so I'll leave it here. I've been with him for about 6 months and known him for about 3 months before that. He's gorgeous and witty, intelligent, charismatic, genuinely not at all what I stereotyped a psychopath to be. I truly would have never known it. Sure, sometimes he can be a little cold, a little dry, and there have been times in a relationship where I'm expressing something he's done to express me, and I'm catching the drift he genuinely does not give a fuck, even if he amends it. My biggest clue, however, was watching him adapt insanely good depending on those around him. We've always been in the same friend group, so I've always seen him act a certain way, behave a certain way, and yes, being his girlfriend, I get a different side to him, but barely. 2 nights ago, I went to a work event for his work with him, and I watched in fucking awe as he literally acted like an entirely different person. Everyone loves him because he was acting exactly how they wanted him to, needed him to. The jokes they told that I could have sworn he would think were heinous, he laughed at and made similar jokes. Topics of discussion he does not care for, they brought up and he talked with them, feigning again amazing interest. It was like he had morphed into this amazing person for them, one nothing like the person I was used to. I asked him about it on the drive back to mine. He tried gaslighting me and say he acted normal. I didn't buy it. I didn't invite him to mine like I always did, and I guess that's when he figured out I was mad. He didn't contact me for 2 days. My boyfriend had upset me, and he didn't care to contact me. Okay. Then he ended up showing up and insisting to talk to me, and he told me he was a psychopath. I laughed in his face and told him to get out. He brought his medical information with him, stubborn prick to prove it all. The tests, the diagnoses, all of it. I was floored. He told me that people like him are extremely good at adapting to social situations that serve them to fit into. Of course, being friendly and liked at work served him. It's why he's been promoted so fast. It's never a bad thing to have too many friends, so he masks and adapts when meeting new people and screens them to decide if he really even wants or cares to have them for a friend. I asked him, why me? Why had he made me his long-term girlfriend? He simply said, I'm at a point in my life I think I should have a girlfriend. Probably one I'll marry. I knew you for 3 months and I liked you enough, so I picked you. Picked me? He told me it was when him and I were walking back to mine and I had made a joke he found genuinely funny, and he noticed he found me genuinely pretty, and he decided then and there, yeah, okay, I'll pick her, and boom, a month later we were together. I'm so confused. Does this mean he likes me? Does he love me? Is this as close to love as psychopaths get? I asked him if he genuinely loved me, and he said, I would marry you. Doesn't that answer it? No. I said I needed time, and he just left. I realized I think he literally doesn't give a fuck, so that's why. But he is giving me time. I love him. I don't know if I could live with this. I'm just confused, and I don't want to tell anyone just yet. I feel embarrassed that I never figured it out. Anyways, leaving it here. All right, this is an interesting post, and if you know the Snook channel, I have done a lot on cults, psychopaths, serial killers, and everything in between. And psychopaths, I'm not a medical professional, but I've just, read a shit ton on a lot of this. And a lot of psychopaths aren't, murderers. They are just kind of differently wired, so to say. And a lot of cult leaders are kind of psychopaths, and they are just very good at being charming and intelligent. They are just smart people. And that doesn't mean they're going to kill you. That doesn't mean they suck. They just might not have as much emotion as the next person. And that really is just what a psychopath is. They'd have less emotion, and they may just respond to things differently. And if I'm wrong, please correct me down in the comments below. But like she said, he's charming, intelligent, nice, handsome, and he's easily adaptable to other people, like the work situation. And that's how a lot of psychopaths and, cult leaders are. They're good with people. And that's how a lot of salesmen are. That's how a lot of business people are. They're just good with people, and they happen to have all of the traits and symptoms of a psychopath, but they might not just murder people. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I'm right on all that. But if I'm wrong for whatever chance, please comment down below where I messed up, where I said wrong, and I'll pin it or just heart it so other people can see. But I'm pretty sure that's all true. And this is an interesting post. I really like this one. I think I'm going to crash the wedding of the woman I love. Yeah, can't really tell anyone about this. I just kind of need to do it. It's selfish of me, but I have to. I can't live knowing I didn't. Context, I met Megan when I was 17, fell in love with her when I was 18, and started dating her when I was 20. She's my age. We went to the same college and then uni and met each other through mutual friends. She was a friend for a while, and that's all I saw her as. And then I don't know. I just loved her. It had been coming on so gradually I didn't catch it. And when I did, I swore I wouldn't tell her. I couldn't do it to our friendship. Lasted a year and then fessed up. And we ended up going out because she felt the same. We dated for 2 years, a good fucking 2 years. It was the kind of love that people in those stupid movies had. I was obsessed with her. She was all I wanted. But we couldn't communicate. It had been a tiny issue in our friendship that had been magnified when we got together. When she was pissed, upset, she wanted to be left alone. Not in the way where people say they want to be alone and don't mean it. She actually wanted to be alone. She's a very independent woman, and when I'm mad, I need to talk. We have to have it out, and she just wouldn't. I'd take screaming matches and broken plates over silence, over nothing. So I'd make the situation worse, ramp it up so that she would be forced to have it out with me. It was making her miserable, and it was making me miserable. I tried to be like her and give her the space she needed, but I was just fucking sick the whole time. I couldn't concentrate, and I realized that I needed her in a way she didn't need me. It wasn't healthy. I had put her on the pedestal she couldn't meet. She got a job offer fresh out of graduation in New York, an English writing thing. We're from London. We both knew we wouldn't survive long distance. We broke up, mutually. It was rough. I went right up to the airport with her. It kind of felt like my heart was walking outside of my body. We knew if we were done, we had to be done. She blocked me, and I blocked her. After 6 months of really trying to get myself together, I started dating again. I had girlfriends, I went to law school. In my last year, I'm 24 to 25 in a month. And I never heard about her again until 2 years later. It was really weird. I just bumped into her when I was on a walk around Hyde Park. God, people, she's so beautiful. Even after all the years, she's fucking stunning. She dyed her hair back to brown, natural color. She was dressed different, and God, I just wanted to know her. She chatted to me. We were both free, so we figured we'd grab a coffee at a coffee shop. She's always cold. She kept her gloves and coat on. We talked for 2 hours. I went into the talk interested in friendship and walked away from it in love with her. We talked about everything. Work, her time in America, our friends, our families, old jokes, what we wanted from the world. It was like nothing had passed, but it had. She was different. Her views had changed, and what she wanted for herself had changed, but she was still Megan. I still loved her. She took her gloves off at the end, and the ring on her finger. Fuck. I asked her about it. Couldn't not. She told me she met someone in America 9 months in. They'd been together a year before he proposed. A year? She'd always sworn she needed to be with someone for 2 minimum. I asked her about him. She said, he's nice and he listens to me. He makes me happy. He's nice. Chocolate is nice. A dog is nice when you describe the qualities of a dog. We parted ways. I unblocked her and she unblocked me. We still have many mutual friends, so once we let them know we were back on good terms, everyone started getting along much better, and her and I hung out. This started in May. It's October. I am in love with her. I've tried to stop. I've tried to get with another woman. Sure, it works, and I care for them far too little than seems appropriate. I just want her. I've met her fiance, Mark. Maybe I'm fucking biased, but Jesus fuck. You know how I'll describe him? Roy from The Office. He's far too arrogant from what he has to offer. How he behaves around Megan, and how he behaves when she's not around is shocking. Yes, with her he's nice. Does listen to her. When she's not around, he's loud, short, cocky, selfish, self-centered. And all her friends agree, but she just won't see it. I don't know what she sees in him. On October 1st, Her and I went to a friend's house party together. Housewarming? She got tipsy and I was on the DD. I was driving her home and parked in front of her house. Here's the following conversation. Damn right I memorized it. We're here. I'll walk you to the door. I hate having an empty house. Where's Mark tonight? Watching the football at the pub. It's late. He should be back. Doubt it. Would you like to come in? I'll walk you to the door. And then I'm walking back to my car. Ever the saint, Julian. I wish you weren't sometimes. I wish you were the type of man who what? Says the things no one else wants to. I usually do, no? Then why won't you say it here? Say what? I don't know. Why aren't you the type of woman who says what she wants? Because I'm scared of what I want. What do you want? That's the question. And I can't answer it for you. I know. I'll walk you to the door. Okay. And I did. And she goes, if you had just asked me to, I would have. Asked you to do what? Leave. Leave what? You're drunk. Yes. Good night. Night. And then I had to get a damn plane for a wedding and a funeral, both in Italy, and I was gone for 2 weeks. And I came back October 12th and realized she's getting married on the 15th. I've tried to contact her with no avail. Her friends say she's already at the cabin where she's getting married, and there's no fucking service. Like my life isn't hard enough. So now what? I let that go? I get her go? I can't. I fucking can't. And I don't think she wants me to. Isn't that what she meant? That if I asked, she'd leave him? She deserves better? I don't know if I'm better, but I'll try. I'm older, more mature than I was, so is she. If I leave tonight, I'll make it for the morning of her wedding. I have no other way to reach her. I don't even know what I'd say, but I can't let her marry him without telling her I love her, even if I lose her all over again. Better that. So I think I'm going to do it. I have to, right? Thanks, if you read all this. Okay, I enjoyed this short little love story, but it is very one-sided. And I actually had a completely different opinion on this before I read the Reddit comments. And everyone on Reddit is saying, no, do not do it. And this guy is actually acting very stalky and being a stalker. And I don't know. And he's being very obsessed. Obviously he is. He's never stopped thinking about her. He says he loves her a million times over, won't move on. I think that is pretty obsessive and kind of scary for her, I guess. But I think this is, or could be, maybe I misinterpreted it. Maybe I misread it wrong. But I feel like it's kind of a cool love story and could kind of be a movie almost. But I don't know. After reading all the Reddit comments, I assume that's how people think. And I kind of see their point that he is acting like a stalker. I don't think he should go through with it. I think that he should just really try his best to move on, even though that probably rips his heart out. He would really just try to move on. I don't know. I'm not a dating or relationship specialist, but yeah, I think he should just try his best to move on and not ruin this guy's wedding and ruin her wedding. Yeah. And all right, guys, that was insane Reddit confessions, and not all of them were that insane, but I feel like they kind of had an insane story, like the wedding one, like the first one, like a few of the other ones. I really enjoyed all of these, and I hope you did too. I really like the confessions, and let me know down in the comments, do you like my opinions in the videos? If you don't, please tell me in the comments. I don't like the opinions. Just be flat out, and if you like them, just say, I like the opinions. I appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for watching. I think it's fun to add a little bit more of my personality. Like I said, I'm very bad at this. I just started, so please be easy on me in the comments. But thank you so much for watching to the end. This was Snook, and see you next time.